German property investment events. Find out more about Europe's powerhouse. Meet and talk with the German property investment team, and even buy a property in Germany that day. Germany, with the largest and strongest economy in Europe, is really affordable. Almost anyone can afford a property there. He can offer direct to you all types of property at very special prices. At our live events, property is offered to you at thousands less than the price online. Just turn up on the day. A little background on the amazing country of Germany that we love for so many reasons. Germany is the fourth richest country in the world. Germany is only 2 hours and 20 minutes from Glasgow and less than 2 hours from London. Money isn't everything. Love is everything. But we love to save a lot of money when buying in such a powerful, beautiful country. Germany is in the EU. There are many reasons why you would want a foothold in the EU. Come and talk to us about them. Germany is full of smooth, fast roads, and 65% of the autobahns have no speed limit. Get to your property quickly. University is free, whether you are German or non-German. Be inspired with many programs offered. From ancient languages, performing art, music, and theology. German universities are the very best to those who wish to take the path to success. Buying a house in Germany is possible today, setting you free to follow your heart and your dreams of owning a home with no mortgage. We believe these areas are amazing for part or full-time living, or getting a return for you, renting out and earning an income. They are all freehold and yours forever. At Kingdom Church, 93 Camberwell Station Road, Camberwell, SE59JJ, London.
Give yourself a hand of praise right now. Wow. Quickly, before we go any more further, thank you for coming today. I want to be able to take this opportunity, first of all, to appreciate every one of you for taking this time. I know there are others also that are coming, but it's really, really exciting about it, especially this day has come to pass. You know, this is one thing that I've always had a desire about, you know, where I'll be able to share with you, you know, some of the things that are which you know, God has done. Many of you know me, those especially watching us on Facebook, whatever you are, quickly make your way here as soon as possible. Today we are here to grab some properties, and we want to be able to get on a property ladder. This is a great opportunity. But before we go any more further, I want to just introduce quickly, just by name, a great friend of mine. We met in a miraculous way, in such a way. His name is Aaron. Clap on for Aaron right now. Amen. He's you know, I did not know that Aaron was the guy who sold me a couple of properties without knowing. And you know, he tried to call me for many, many times. And every time he keep calling the call center, what did they tell you?
He told me I couldn't. He told me I couldn't speak to you.
You know, and you called for a long time.
Yeah, I did indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. But later, miraculously, we met.
Yes.
And it was amazing. The first time we met was in Balmoral Hotel, you know, and we just clicked from on.
We had a meeting.
Yeah, and it was good. Thank you so much. And
yes,
it's a great thing. I was telling them about the train station, the one that you passed over where I'm concerned. It's amazing, you know, how, you know, when we are there in Balmoral, and then straight away you talk about where the train station is concerned. It's amazing. I've always, you know, I don't know about you, but one thing that I always believe in, this is why we're here today. Every one of us in life, you know, we have childhood dreams, desires, but many people, they have let them go. But for me, I've always pursued them. And it's an amazing, especially, you know, when you offered me the train station, you know, that was like, it was, you know, just owning a train station.
Yep. You can't own a train station here now.
You know, just having a train, just for statement, nothing else. Just knowing that the trains are stopping outside your property. So quickly, I want to be able to let you know, every one of you, that you're here. And yeah, you can sit down for a minute, and then I will be able to clap on right now for Aaron one more time. Amen. He's a great man. Amen. He's a great man. Also with us on the team, we have James. He is behind there at the moment, and he will be able to share with us. He's more, he's going to be able to tell us more. Aaron, and when I met them, the first time I met them in Balmoral Hotel, this is one of the prestigious, we met there a couple of times, haven't we? Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, they give you free peanuts, and it's good.
Yes, it's amazing. We met there. It's an amazing. It's actually one of the outstanding hotel in Edinburgh, and this is our. And we realized we've got a lot of things in common. We're all from Scotland. He's from
Aviemore.
Up there.
Yeah.
And we have James, who's from Glasgow, and then I'm from Edinburgh. So we have James, who's Glasgow. I'm Edinburgh, and he's up from the other side. So at the end of the day, we find ourselves in between. So you can go and see James, who don't know passing through me. And that is how God connects us together. I want to be able to say thank you so much, every one of you, especially once again for coming here. But I'm really, one of the things that I want to be able to share with you here is why is that I invited special Aaron and James to be here. Because number one, it's not one, it's not two, it's not almost about 3 properties that myself personally I have had. Actually 1, 2, 3 years is about 3 properties that I've been able to get through them. And it's amazing. They make things so simple, so very so simple. And for me, and especially when I bought my first property, I didn't even know that actually. Then later when he contacted me, and then after calling my office for over a year, keep calling. They'll pray with him, keep calling, and he's a very patient man, and he was just telling me, it's very hard to find you. But somehow, somewhere, actually miraculously, he got my number. And but since when I met them, it's an amazing thing, because you see, I had a better understanding. And for me, I wanted to be able to, especially if you're there right now, and if you are there right now, maybe probably you're watching this, wherever you are, you better get here as soon as possible. If you want to, especially have something to your life, I always believe that is always important, as you know very well. Number one, before anything else, as I introduce myself. Number one, myself, I'm a man of God. Number two, I'm a businessman. Number one, I'm a man of God. Number two, I'm a businessman, and I'm never ashamed of the gospel where that is concerned. And actually, he loves the fire service.
I love the fire service.
He tells me, your wife likes to watch is an amazing. He loves the fire. When it comes to the fire service, when we met the first time, he was just telling me, Bishop, sit down here. Can you tell me about this fire service? I just want to know about it, and it's an amazing. So you are here today. My question here is one thing, and I know many of you right now, you have a lot of questions to be able to ask, and I believe that we'll be able to answer everything. You are here today. As you know very well, at the moment, we're talking about in the UK, when it comes to properties, it's up high there. But in Germany, there is an opportunity, because Germany actually is one of the strongest economies in the world. And the properties that you're about to have here, these are freehold. That means, as you heard, it is yours forever and ever and ever. The taxes there, very affordable. It's very, yeah.
Yeah, the council tax is very affordable, and living costs are a little bit lower than the UK.
We're talking about electric gas, cheap. We're talking about water, cheap. And I know one of the questions that many of you right now will be addressing here is, oh, wait a minute here now. What happened now? We're not a part of the European Union. What's going to happen? Actually, that works for your advantage in a bigger way. It works actually for your advantage in many, many ways. One thing with Germany, it does not matter either you're German or non-German, you can own the property. You can be able to own the peaceful people. Every time when I go there, no one minds your business. They just leave you alone. No one at all, and the health, talking about health-wise, health sector in Germany is the top. Engineering is the top. It's an amazing. Everything there has been built to be able to last. So my own experience that I did really find, and I want to be able to share this with you. My own experience. You know very well we are busy refurbishing one of a result which actually I got from him. I didn't even know until later when we met. You know, a result. We have been refurbishing it. As right now, I'm modifying it. It's actually it was supposed to be of about 10 plus bedroom, but I have expanded. I'm talking about I have moved some of it, to almost about 8. And on top of it, I'm putting, as I speak to you right now, I'm installing sauna. We're talking about steam sauna, where that is concerned. It's good, the property that you sold me, because it has got a whole football field to it. There's a whole football field to it. You can go over there. That is when I saw it, that is, wow, this is going to be good, especially for my members. They can go over there, play the football, and then, go hiking. And, it's an amazing. You go over there and straight away, sorry to say this, you go over there and you sit down like this, you think 20 years ahead, how you will just be sitting there. No, I'm telling you, if you don't think about the future, you must think about the future. Sometimes you just need to detox. But what I want to be able to share with you, why is it that I did invest myself into where Germany is concerned? There are a few things that I had to do. Number one, I want to be able to share with you about where my background is concerned. I was born in Africa. I was raised up in Kenya. And I did two things happen. Over the years, I did inherit a lot of property from my family, from my parents. But also on the other side also, I did many years ago. I don't want to say I'm still young, but I bought a lot of stuff over there. But this is the truth. This is the sad story. It's going to tell you. None of it benefited me at all. I've never had a single penny move from there to come here. Why? Because you have family members that are there. Some of them move in and they don't want to move out. And some of them, even you're not careful, they start praying for you to make sure that you don't come back. Yeah. If something happens, guess what? They'll take it. So what happened here is, I want to be able to share with you. I know some of you right now is the same story. We're talking about back in Asia. We're talking about back in the Caribbean. We're talking about where that is concerned. But also, for example, I have some other properties, especially places. There are some lands that I bought. I've not been able to develop them, not because of anything else, because of security factors. You are there, you're sleeping in the house, and you hear the thieves. As soon as you've landed, they know. Yo, come out. Bring your passport out. Yeah, they'll do that. Not passport, but they're telling you money. You know that story, what's happening in Caribbean. As soon as you arrive there, if you don't stay in hotel, if you're poor, nobody will bother you. But even if you're poor, they'll still want your trainers and other things. So what happened here is I want to be able to share with you why I'm talking about the future. Think about where the future is concerned. I have seen a lot of people in diaspora. I hope you'll understand this because I need to talk to them. A lot of people in diaspora, this is what we do. We wake up every morning and we lie to ourselves. And we say, one thing, one of these days I'm going back to Africa. One of these days I'm going to go back to Asia. One of these days I'm going back to the Caribbean. And some of you right now is exactly, for example, there are some of you right now, you're second generation here. That's what your parents used to say. But have you gone back? No. You work here, you may have gone for holiday, but you never gone back. You never. And the reality came to me one day in life everything begins to change, even before everything alarmed me. So one day, I always say that this mentality, because I had come and says one of these days, you have to build something home. You have to build something home. You need to have something home. And I did that and I built a lot. One thing, one day I looked at my daughter. I remember when my daughter was born, I could hold her with my hands. But this time I look on the setting. She's filled the setting. That is the day when everything hit my head and I realized no. So what happened was, that's fine. So I realized, you know one thing, the life that we have is today, not tomorrow. You need to understand that. You know, the life that you have is today. For example, like the other day, you know, pastor, you look at Mimi, we've seen her been born, she's not grown. That's the life. If you don't provide it now, there'll be no another time. If you don't have good time now, there'll be no another time. But what happened? Most of the people that are in diaspora, all what we do, we keep lying to ourselves, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days. And what happened? So I think it's about when? It's about, I think it's 10 years ago. When did I take them? I don't know, 15 years ago. It's about 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So now I'm waiting for my children to grow up. I take them to Africa, Aaron. At the airport, we're having an issue. As soon as we get in the car, my daughter, suddenly a house flies is in the car. She couldn't take it. Can you imagine a fly just like this? You know, and she was all having commotion all over the place. And I tried to, to cool her down. As soon as we go home, things were even more worse. I realized no, and I had to drive them at night to make sure that they don't see where we are going. So they woke up in the morning, they realized we're in the farm. When they woke up in the morning, they asked us, where are we? I says, you are here. This is where I was born. Oh, I thought they would really enjoy it. So I tried to slaughter a goat for them. I realized they saw that as cruelty. It is against animals. You should not kill animals. The mindset, everything is all different. Then we wanted to drink tea. For us, when you drink tea, I was sitting down, me and my brother were drinking tea. You have when you're drinking tea, the house flies will come and touch. For us, even if a house fly flies inside the tea, you just remove it. And I can't throw the whole cup just because of one house fly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine me throwing all that? I did not realize for them, every time when the housefly will touch the glass, they'll pour the whole tea down. Touch the glass, pour the whole tea down. What am I trying to say this? Within 2 days, the fun was over. All the excitement was gone. They start asking, Dad, we need to go back. Can we go back? When are we going to go back? I tried to go and show them animals. They liked the animals. It was so amazing. But at the end of the day, after you go to the game park, at the end of the day, you have to go back home. And what happened? They says, we have to go back. I said, no, we're not going back. We have a couple of days here. They says, Dad, you know one thing? We are British citizens. And we have rights. And I want to be able to share this with you. Throughout the years, I've tried to share with my daughter, my children, interest. They're not interested. Even sometimes I try to sit down with them and tell them, you know one thing, we have this property there. They're not interested. I realize at the end of the day, all what I've done is not helpful. Because but I'll tell you one thing, there are people that are enjoying it, my relatives. Oh, I've been trying to raise up turkeys. And I realized the turkeys, there's a number that it doesn't get beyond. And I keep asking them, this year we had 20 turkeys. Last year there were 20 turkeys. How come these turkeys are not increasing? My brother told me, the reason why the turkeys are not increasing, because when it comes near Christmas, something happens to them. I said, what is happening to them? I says, one turkey we see it walking like this, we think is old. The other one we walk like this, is not feeling well. So we cannot wait for this other to strike. So we help ourselves. You see that now? What am I trying to say this? I'm trying to speak a language every one of you understand. What about myself? Will I ever go back to Africa? I don't think so. I don't know. I try to go over there. I get excited when I go there for a few days. But after a few days, when you see you're spending too much money, you just want to come back. You go over there, you get all the sun that you want and everything else. And then after everybody get used to you, nobody wants you anymore. But when you arrive like this, everybody wants you. Why? Because you have money, you have everything. What am I trying to say this? Because majority of you that you are here today, I need to speak a language that which you understand. Then I came to a point and I had to be honest with myself. And I says, here I am. I'm investing, or I've invested half of my youth, everything that which I have, and which is sometimes going to be a very sad story. This is my story. I've invested half of my youth, everything, worth millions, yet none of it has ever benefited me in any way. And things that are there, some of them I've packed, some of them are just wearing out. And I realized, one thing, and sometimes, like now, for example, like yesterday, I'll give you an example. I have one of my foremen keep calling me. He's been calling me all day, called me yesterday and the day before yesterday, kept calling me, kept calling me. I says, oh, you need to come. You need, no, I need to talk to you something. What is the issue about? It's about the fence. I says, what do you mean about the fence? Oh, the fence is falling off. And it's not a small fence. It's a fence that covers hundreds of hectares. So can you imagine me? I have to go and fence something. I'm going to go and fence something. At the end of the day, live here, but get a ticket, 800 pounds. Yeah, watch it now, 800 pounds. And don't forget that I have to carry things for my relatives before I go. Shoes, you can ask my office manager. She has packed so many times. Not once, not how many suitcases have you ever, since when you start, how many suitcases have you packed with stuff? Over 100 suitcases. Shoes, everything, relatives. You can't go like this. So on top of the 800 pounds, which you're buying, you have to buy shoes, you have to buy this, you have to buy that, you have to buy that, you have to buy that, and you carry all these heavy suitcases. And as soon as you arrive at the airport and you go over there, when you're coming back, you're coming with an empty suitcase. But for me, it's different. And when I go there, when I come back with what do you call frankincense. Now, why am I trying to share this with you? I had to sit down and I came to the truth. And what's the truth I came to realize? And this is the biggest issue that has been going around among the people that live in diaspora, is that for years and years and years and years, some of you here right now, what has happened to you? Some of you here right now, you thought, one thing, I'll go and retire maybe in Jamaica. I'll go and retire maybe in Africa. I'll go and then you go over there, then you come for medical check. You have to keep coming. And I had to come to a point where I had to be honest. Well, but I did not even know what to do. I just began to pray. I did not know what to do. Because when I look, for example, in the UK here, the property is too high for every one of us to be able to jump in. You're looking, for example, if I really need a big house for family or a big house for myself or whatever it is, talking about freehold, you'll not get anything less than 100,000. And when you go to the bank, they have to ask you for this and ask you for that and ask you for that, unless you have over 2 to 3. Actually, a 3-bedroom house in Great Britain, it will cost you, in a nice place, an average. We're talking about a nice, quiet place, an average about 300,000. Almost between 200 and 300,000. So at the end of the day, I didn't even know what to do. That is why I want to be able to share with you testimony. I didn't even know what to do. So what did I do? I begin to dispose the properties that I have over there. I start selling from scrap to everything. I start selling it because I know at the end of the day, it's not going to benefit me. But the issue here is you dispose those properties over there. As soon as the money comes in, there is a need. You see, so all I realize here is, I'm disposing this property, I'm disposing that. I disposed a whole street. Because, we used to have not 1, 2 streets. I'm talking about a street, the whole street like this, which is almost about what? It was about a mile of the whole street. Some of them belongs to my father. The other, I had to dispose them. Now, this is what I want to be able just to share with you here. So I didn't even know what to do. But still, I have to be honest with myself where the future is concerned. That is where by the grace of God, I saw these properties that which were being for sale in a strange way. I didn't even, at that time I don't even met Aaron, and I remember I got one first, which is the result. It was very affordable. Actually, it was cheap, very cheap, and on there I got another one, in the one in Con. Actually, I realized it's also the same fella. I also got another one, which is what we're talking about here is multiplex, where that is concerned. Why am I sharing this with you? Because I realized now, for example, I was in Germany last week. You get this week actually. You get a flight from here, £50, £30 with EasyJet. I fly, for example, you can either fly straight away to Germany or you can go through Czech Republic. It depends where your property is. So you have just to find out which part of your property is going to be. It's £30. You go over there. Car rental is what, £20 for 3 days. Yeah. You drive to your property. 70. I'm talking about with 120 includes return ticket and car rental. You go to your property. You see it. You could go there for the weekend. You could go there, take your family for Christmas, stay over there. And the good thing about it here is German people, they don't like buying properties. They love to rent. So when it comes, I know Aaron is going to tell you more about where that is concerned. And most of it, if you are here, so what happened for me is much more easier. I'm looking about in the future. I'm talking about we're talking about the old age. So instead of me right now keep running away, going to Africa, no, I can go just around the corner there. Actually, I can leave in the morning, go see the property, sort out whatever need to be sorted out, yeah, and I'm back again in the evening. Actually, it's an amazing what I saw when I went on Tuesday, whatever it is. Actually, I realized I can actually work from Germany. I can actually fly in the morning, come to London, the same ticket you used to try. How much did you pay to Kent with the train? 500. 48 pounds. Guess what? Every day you could work from Germany, be here in the morning, go to work, and then go back home. Can you imagine that? Most of the people that you see, you meet them, most of them live in Paris, some of them live in Holland, some of them live in Germany. And guess what? The good thing about it here is, at least now I know, with the place there, no relative is messing it up. No one will say, oh, no. It is here, it's around the corner. And this is the biggest difference that, I've been able to see. I feel more peaceful where that is concerned. And my desire and my plan is to increase as many properties as I can be able to get, because this gentleman, they have been able to make it more affordable. Actually, my brother, Pastor Moses, bought a property from him. And guess what he bought? A whole hotel, restaurant, with about 7, 10. I was just sharing, he's my brother. For me, it's always, I was just sitting down with him and I have to update him because he's my youngest brother. And I says, Pastor Moses, I've just bought this property. Oh, Pastor Moses, what? Where? In Germany. Because Pastor Moses has had issues himself too with his investment in Africa. He even actually quit Africa. He even told me, never again will I go to Africa again, because they keep just winding up his head. So when he heard about it, it was so amazing. He says, one thing, because for me, that's the reason why I'm bringing this to you. I want you also to enjoy yourself. I want you also to have something. I don't want you to say, oh, man of God. There are many pastors that are there. Something will happen to them, but they never share with their congregation. That's why here in the Kingdom Church, I'm not just interested of you just coming and sitting down. I'm interested for you making a progress, because if you prosper, I prosper. Amen. So what I want to be able to share with you here today, this is an opportunity for you. And then, can you imagine, look at the property here, going for 12,000. 12,000. Can you imagine? Going for 12,000. 12,000 pounds. And a property like this, it doesn't matter. You can just, some of them you need to be able, you need to do some, because some of them you need to do repair and whatever it is. Can you imagine, even if you buy for 12,000, yeah, you just go there, 3 times a year, So, please, if you can get some brochures, if you can get some, we have enough brochures. Yeah, who's going to help us? Minister, please, can you help us with giving some brochures? The people there who want some brochures. And I think we may need to put it at the back there. And the good thing about these houses, there is no spiritual attack. Did you hear what I say? There is no what? There is no spirit. When you have this one, no demons will come looking for you. Sorry? The territorial spirit, I've already been there. I've dealt with them. But there's no when the issue with the territorial spirit, no. So want to be able to share this with you, and this is many cry. And even as I speak to you right now today, this is the same symptom keep going all the time, especially with people in diaspora. For example, like her, I know you are second generation here. You have been born here. Your parents always kept saying, one thing, one of these days we'll go to Jamaica, did you ever go to Jamaica? Only to visit. But did you go to live there? No. Will you be able to live there? No. But guess what? Here in Europe, you can be able to go. It's just around the corner. And the good thing about it, this is what I found out the other day. I had to go to the local office, to the local, what do you call it?
The local government office.
Yes.
Yep.
And I went over there and they told me, oh, one thing, if you've bought a property, just bring your name into it and we'll be able to process your resident permit.
Correct, yeah.
Can you imagine, with no fee? He says, all we have to do, as long as you have a title deed to your name, yeah, there's either different way you can do. Either you have a permanent job, but your employer has to supply everything. But if you have a property to your name, your landowner, right now between now 20 to 23.
Yeah, we have time here.
We have time here. So you can, especially if you do it this year, you can go over there, just present your name and whatever it is, and they will issue there a German resident. But if you want to become a German citizen, you have to learn German. Yeah. Huh? And it's so easy to learn German. You know that? You speak German. Used to. It's so easy because most of it is just like English. You just need to change G with J. Like for example, Germany, Jamaica, Germany, instead of G, you put J. German. Instead of, you have to, that's why it is. It's so easy. So quickly, I want just to be able to share with you. I know because this is one of the areas, this is where your fears are concerned. But at the end of the day, I want to let you know here is you need to wake up to the reality today. If you're in diaspora, right now as I speak to you, people are spending thousands and millions of what they have worked for buying properties over there. And guess what? Their children will have nothing to do with it. Right now, there is a situation that actually I'm dealing with. Not one, but 4 situations that I'm actually dealing with where somebody died and they left their properties and the children are here. But the children, at the end of the day, they don't know how the other side works. And as a result of it, they're living things, just some relatives are taking advantage of it. And you know what the worst thing here is? You work so hard, and all of you are going to live a long life. You work so hard, you save so hard, and everything else. And at the end of the day, if anything happens to you, your children have got no access to it. But if you have children on the other side, it's different because they are well known with the system, how it works local. Are you understanding me? So I want to be able to encourage every one of you that you're here, and especially if your grandchildren are here, if you're planning to have your grandchildren here, whatever it is, your children here, they're growing up here, give them something they can work with. Give them something that is normal to where, I'm talking about to where they are, and then your life will be easier. But also make sure that you are closer to the rich. Now, one thing, for example, here in UK, it's an amazing. Unless you are really millionaire, here in UK, when you are really millionaire, then you can have your own cottage somewhere. You can have your own house. I'm talking about big house like this, somewhere there with a swimming pool, whatever it is, but you cannot get a big swimming pool like that. Just to make that swimming pool in UK, it will cost you more than 42,000. And don't forget, your neighbors will protest for planning permission. You need to know that. But there in German, most of the things, I was so surprised. I was just making, can you imagine the whole house? Look at this. This whole house, big town, living in a star. Can you imagine the whole house? How much? 20,000.
And when you look behind this house, this is an apartment house with a large hall. The garden behind it, the people behind it with a brand new house have a full-size swimming pool, just as you discussed, in their garden, a proper inbuilt full-size swimming pool. So you can have that, no problem.
Can you imagine that? Yeah. So all I want to be able to encourage you today that you are here. But the good thing also is amazing. Did you ever know, this is what else I found the other day on Friday. It's very amazing, but I'm not advising you to do this. I'm not advising you to do this. Once you have the title deed and everything, you can walk to any German bank. You can walk to, when you have the title deed to your name, because this house that you see, that Aaron, they're bringing the German property, they are actually selling on a throwaway price. So this is not this is not the price in the market. So we're talking about this 12,000 times it by 10. That's the value of it. So this house you're buying 12,000 is actually almost what 120. So if you need maybe to refurbish the house, whatever it is, you can actually remortgage it. And actually the loans and everything else, I don't know if even you saw yesterday in the news, German, when it comes to the loans, is one of the that's very kind. Like yesterday, they announced that they're going to give loans to all the businesses, and there is no limit to it. And they're really encouraging people to be able to invest. So can you imagine, you get something like this, you're able to get a loan, you're able to refurbish it, and at the end of the day, you know that you have a future and you have somewhere to go. So I don't want to talk much more at the moment because the man is here. I'm talking about Aaron. He's an expert. He's been doing this for a long time. He's not my landlord because he has sold me all the properties. He's a man that I believe that God has used him, and I'm so proud about it. Now I know I don't need to keep worrying. And actually, what I'm doing at the moment, as I speak to you right now, I'm disposing every property that I have in Africa. I'm disposing. The only thing I'm going to be able to leave is just where my father and my mother, where they're buried. That's all I want to be able to. But everything else, I'm disposing everything because at the end of the day, I have come to realize my future is here, and I have to accept that. I have to accept that. But it's easier with my daughter. When I talk about German property, they're so excited about it. They're willing to go over there. I talk about Kenya. They just want to go for holiday, and come back. For example, things like this. I'll tell you what I'm thinking that I'm really planning. For example, during summertime, between Monday and Friday, I could get, the children. You take them over there, especially they're growing up. They got to do refurbishing, do the gardening, staying over there. Keep them away from the streets, keep away from the wrong people. You take them over there. They got to refurbish the place. Especially the young men. The job is to, remember when we were growing up. When we were growing up, we were given responsibility. But here, there is no responsibility. They just sit down and play games, play games. That's what they do. But here you says, no, we are going during the what do you call it? The halftime. You just pack them. Every one of them, 30 pound, you pack them over there. And you go and leave them with the eldest. And you come back. You come back to go to work. They stay over there. There is no place to go. There is no drugs. There is no whatever it is. So at the end of the day, guess what? All what they'll be doing is refurbishing. They learn what? Responsibility. And at the same time, they'll be learning some new languages. So, for example, like this, summertime, I've booked, some of the, some of them to go over there and just go over there and just get the garden done, get the painting done. Because apart from that, you're raising up kids that are lazy. They don't even know any responsibility at all. That's why the other day, Junior was telling me, I said, no. He says, we was, come, let's go to B&Q. This is the door handle, whatever it is, this is the screwdriver. What do I do next? Check on YouTube. You see what to do and fix the door. Yeah, because I realized I don't want to raise up a kid who will have to do everything for them. No. So fix. You do this, you do that, and you should always do that. It doesn't matter if it's a girl or it's a boy. They need to know how to take responsibility. Amen. So I don't want to really go any more further. But now you understand why there's more benefit to ourselves personally with this. But some of you here right now, maybe at the reach of my voice, maybe you're planning to go back to Africa, maybe back to the Caribbean. Good luck to you, and we hope to be seeing you once in a while when it is possible. Amen. Someone say hallelujah. But when you go over there, there are some relatives that will not like it. Some of them are jealousy, ex-schoolmates, classmates. And before they see you, they say, she's here back again. She's busting around, walking around. We'll deal with her. We'll deal with him. But anyway, listen to me. Some of you here right now, there are some of you right now, you want to go back. That's you. And we totally understand that. But some of us who have come to accept the will of God for life, we're just like Abraham. He says we can't go back. So from there on, we're moving on forwards. Amen. Help me right now as you clap your hand right now for. So now, Aaron, I was just laying the background. The reason why here is the people that we're having here today. There are many people that are watching. Because here in Great Britain we live in a different society. It's not like America. America, sometimes we have families around. But here, especially in London, as you can be able to see, it's not family oriented. Everybody's all by himself. You don't even know who your neighbor is. And most of them here they live with that light mind. One thing they call the money, but they want to invest back. You invest the money that you never get it. But here in Europe, it's just around the corner. So I want to be able to welcome to take us now to a next level. And thank you so much, especially for what to meet you, to know you. It did, because that for me was an answered prayer. Because at the end of the day, I realized, one thing, now I can be able to focus with where the future is concerned. But the property that you sold me is an amazing. I'm doing refurbishing on it. And the other one, I've been updating you on what is going on. It's really amazing. Clap hand for him one more time right now.
Every single one of these properties are empty. They're ready to be transferred to the new owner. None of them have security. They have normal door locks, every single one, and nobody goes into any of them. Any of the properties. If you did that here in Britain, you leave any of these properties empty, no security, nothing, they would be broken into. That shows how safe Germany is. That shows how safe these rural areas are and these towns that these properties are in. So they're very, very safe. It's not only a safe investment in Germany because it's a solid country, but it's also safe. These places are very, very safe for you and your children. These are good places. Each and every one of them, I guarantee this. Okay. Should we go through the properties? You want to know more about Germany?
Yes,
Has anyone been to Germany? Where have you been to in Germany? Düsseldorf. Right, these are a little bit different location. These properties are in Thuringia and Saxony. One of them is in Stendal, which is north of Berlin, which is it's one of these ones. It's the train station. Some of you may have taken interest in the train station, but most of them are in Saxony and Thuringia, which is in the south near the border of Czech Republic and Poland, which is good because goods in Czech Republic and Poland are very cheap, and you can drive across the border for fuel. You drive back again and get it, and it's an open border between each one. I've been doing property in Germany for over 10 years now, and I really think that it's a very, very good investment in Germany for anyone, for me, for my family, and for anyone who wants to buy in Germany. It's a very safe investment. You can still buy property in Germany now, even though we're exiting the EU. You'll always be able to buy property in Germany, and you can work and live in Germany right now. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you'll still be able to apply for a visa anyway and work and live in Germany regardless of anything else, because Germany and the UK want to work together. They always have and they always will. So I'm quite confident that we'll come to agreements on that anyway. So I don't think anyone needs to worry about any of that stuff. That's good.
Just to add that, I told you that this week, I went over to the local government office. And what they say here is if I present my title deed that I have a property there, then you're guaranteed to get a resident permit. Yes. As long as you have a title deed. So if you have a resident permit, that means you can be able to work in Germany. You can be able to live in Germany. And the resident permit that they give you is like what we call indefinitely to remain here. So that means you have an access to the university. And the good thing the lady there told me that if I can register my children and the family as soon as possible, as soon as possible, you put them up there. So at the end of the day, anytime, any hour, whatever it is, for example, they want to go to the university over there, for example, the one or whatever it is, then it will be much more easier.
Yep, and education is free. University is free and schools are free there. So if you want to do it and your children want to do it, then you can do it, and you can do it for free, and it will continue to be free for anyone to study. So it's very good. The roads in Germany are good. They're excellent. There's barely any potholes anywhere, and they're fixed very quick. The airports are good. We've got a new airport coming in, which is a while at Brandenburg, the big one in Berlin. So there'll be a lot more cheaper flights coming into there, coming hopefully at the end of this year, possibly next year, but very soon. A very big airport. And at the moment, you can fly from here into very close to where most of these properties are, into a city called Leipzig from London. And you can do that at the moment. Right now, you can do that. So it's very easy transport connections to there. And it's very easy to drive there if anyone wants to drive in Germany. It's very easy because the roads are wide. They're not very busy. There's not that many traffic jams apart from in the city of Berlin.
And the cheapest, because most of these properties are on the border of Poland and Czech Republic. For me, for example, like the one in Klinatel, it's easy to go to. If you fly to Germany straight away from here, it's a little bit expensive. But if you fly to Czech Republic, it's cheaper. Yeah. And then you hire a car, and then the motorway, I'm talking about they've got no limits. You just drive. A journey that should take you normally here 2 hours, there in Germany it will take you almost about 40 minutes.
Yep. So it's very easy to get places in Germany. It's very easy. If anyone's nervous driving in, say, Greece and things like that in Spain, it's not like that. The drivers are very good in Germany, so you don't have to worry about the driving. They're very, very good. It's only when I come back here I start complaining and shouting at other drivers sometimes. So it's quite good in that way. So that's very good. Living in Germany is good. As I said, the education is free, so that's great. The shops, there's lots of shops. There's supermarkets in most towns and even villages. There's pharmacies in most villages and towns. You have everything you need in Germany to live. Anything that you need, anything you have here, you have in Germany. And people are very respectful, so it's easy to live with the Germans. The Germans are they're very respectful. They're very quiet, and they just let you get on with it. Whatever you want to do with your property, you can do it. So we can do that, yeah. Yep. So today we're offering a certain range of properties for sale. All of these properties are ready to go. They're ready to be transferred to the new owner if anyone is interested. There's only one of each one, so you can only sell one. We're not selling multiples. So if anyone's interested in any specific ones, if you could go and see James at the very back, and he'll talk to you about any specifics but I know, I've been into these properties, I know the properties, so if you have any specific questions about the properties, you let me know, and I can go through every single bit from the inside it to the roof to the side, the back. I know about these properties. We know exactly what we're selling here, because we're not selling them in bulk. We're selling just a small range of properties, and this is exactly what we do. We just sell specific properties, so we know exactly what we're selling. We know every bit of information about the properties. So that's that. Yeah.
You can be able to take us through maybe one by one, each by each, so have a better understanding.
So we have a property here. It from the back of it doesn't look too big, but from the other side, this is a big building. This is quite a big building. It's very close to the sea in the north of Germany. It's a very good location. You can see here it's near to Rostock, which is a offshore centre where offshore workers go from there to oil fields out in the sea there. So it's a very, very good location. This property is offered only at 28,000. I have no inside photographs of it. We only managed to secure it, so we have no inside photos. That's why it's offered at this price. It's a very, very nice stone building. We'll have the information on the sheets here. If anyone doesn't have the sheet, you can get it. The special thing about this particular property is the location. The location is accessible. Rostock is the property there is very expensive. It has theme parks, a zoo. It has everything that any major city would have, but it's not that busy place. It's a very good place to live or just to invest, and it's very accessible. You can drive through the Netherlands to there. It's a very good property. If you need any more information about that one, if you just come to us for that one. Do you want to go on to the next one? Right, Coleda. This is a very traditional property. Again, it's only 30,000. You get nothing for that here. You wouldn't get a bit of land for that here. This is it's a traditional house, but also has a barn on the side of it and a courtyard, and it has a separate plot of land, which is just at this outside the village, just at the side of the village. In the plot of land, you could build on it, or you could grow your own vegetables and whatever you wanted to grow in it. It has electric, water, like almost all of these properties do. I'll tell you if they don't. It's near Samerda, which is a really attractive town. It has nice churches, museums, cafes, bars, everything that you need really. But the great thing about this is it has a courtyard and it has a balcony on the top of it. It also has a steam room inside it, actually. So it's a very nice property. It's an easily manageable property. It would be a very, very easy project to renovate. Actually, most of it's decoration. So this is an easy first project for anyone. Offered at a very, very good price. And the village is very nice. The people in the village are very nice. Each time we go, we speak to the people in the villages, and there's a young population in this village, which is always a good sign. It means that people want to stay there, which is really excellent. On the right-hand side of the barn, we have, if you could pull that down a bit, James. The right-hand side, you have a plot of land to the right-hand side of the actual barn. And it's a little landscape garden. But the great thing is it has a separate plot of land which you could put a summer house on in the summer, because you have long, hot summers there. And you can just relax there, or have an Airbnb. You could build a little log cabin, stick an Airbnb in it. It's a very good tourist location. It's a very nice village, actually. And you can see on the bottom right-hand side, the photograph, you have it's very enclosed, the yard, so you could have a couple of dogs or something, or just have nice. It's good for private, for privacy, and it has a balcony on the top. This is a really nice project for someone who wanted to buy their first property in Germany. It's very easy. Again, like every single one, it's freehold. It's not a listed building, so you can do anything you want with it, really, within reason. And it's a very good property. That's a really, really easy first property for anyone who's interested in this one. Do you want to go on to the next one, James?
The thing that they need to know here is actually there is for example, when I was going to Germany, people are looking, most of the hotels, they're fully booked. You remember last time you couldn't even come to where I was because the place was already booked.
Yep.
And the other thing is that you can do the what do you call A and B? Yeah, it's called A and B. Do A and B. So at the end of the, and actually for each room that you have, it will bring you in at least 75 to 90 euros a night.
Yep, and you have the separate plot of land which comes with the property. So you could put a log cabin on it if it doesn't have solid foundations, just like here in Britain. And you can put that out on booking.com or Airbnb. There's no law against that, so you can do that there. You can have both the house and that on Airbnb. Very helpful people in the village, actually. Very helpful. Specifically that village. It's a great little village. Nice. Yep. So if anyone's interested, just let us know. This one here is £12,000. That's the price of a little car, really. You don't get a house here for £12,000. You don't get an apartment. You pretty much get nothing here for that. That is the cheapest property that we actually have for sale. But it is, however, a bit better than it looks. It might look like a little basic property, but it's a good property. This one here is actually being prepared on the inside for someone who wants to do a bit of handiwork themselves or get someone else to do it. It's a solid building. It has a courtyard, has outbuildings to the right-hand side of the building. James, can you pull that down a bit? You have these outbuildings here. The roof has been renewed on the outside and on the inside. So the roofs are a lot of money. I'm having a roof done in my house in Scotland right now. And that costs way more than that one house to do the roof. 3 times the cost of that one house just to fix a roof. So that roof's been done. The roof is watertight and very solid. It has outbuildings. The village centre is amazing. It's absolutely amazing village centre. It's very attractive, very old, and each one of the properties, this isn't a listed building, but the properties in the centre are listed buildings, and it looks like a museum town in the middle. Very, very attractive, and it's just lush countryside outside it. It's a fantastic property, and it's £12,000. That is the cheapest property we have, and that's available right now. We own that, and it's ready to go if anyone is interested. And there's only one of them. This will have 3 bedrooms for £12,000. And I own it. It's ready to go. Yep. Do you want to go on to the next one? It's clearly not very interesting, that one. Clearly not very interesting. Nobody's going to want a house for £12,000, right? That one there is gone now. It's gone. Yep. No, you're not interested. Right, let's go on to the next one. Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
I can come over here.
Yes, I was just asking a question. Say, for instance, you buy that property. What is the rental market? If you live here and then you buy it there, the rental market, is it good?
Yeah, all of these houses in this village, I didn't see any empty ones. It's a renter's market, like most of these places in Germany. I'll tell you if it's a quieter place. You ask the question and I'll tell you. All of these houses around it are occupied. There's no empty villages, empty houses here. So if you want to rent that out, you can. And it's a very special house, this one in specific. You mean the one before that one or this one? The one before, yeah. If you do it up, you'll rent it out. And so you in Germany, we have a 10-year capital gains thing. You buy the property, you can rent it out for 10 years. So you get your money back for your renovations and a bit more. And then when you sell it, you pay no capital gains tax. So there's no tax on your profit. And if you're going to buy that property for 12,000 and you're going to renovate it and sell it for 80, totally, utterly reasonable, 80, 90,000, that's what the ones around it are. The one on the left is across the road has been renovated, and it'll be renovated now. And then you pay no tax on your profit. So, and you can rent it out. You want to rent that out when it's renovated, straight away you can rent it out easy. Yep, totally practical to do that. Yeah, it's a renter's market. Yeah. Hi.
Well, what does the rent go for around that area?
Right. So this one here, you're going if you're not putting it on Booking.com or Airbnb, you're going to get 5. I'm going to be totally reasonable here. So I'm not going to tell you over what it's going to go for. That's going to go for about 550, 600 a month. That's 12,000 pounds, isn't it? All right. Totally reasonable. Yeah, 10 years. You sell it, but you're going to make a lot more, because you're not going to leave it like that. You're going to want to do something with it. You're going to want to make it into something and sell it. That property is going to sell and you pay no profit on what you sell it for. That's a 10-year capital gains tax, and that's going to stay like that for the foreseeable future. If you buy it now, it might change next year, but anyone that's got something, that 10 years will run on from now anyway. I don't know if it's going to change next year or the year after, but that is right now. You do it up, rent it out, 10 years later, no profit on what you sell it for. There's benefits to the listed buildings, but this isn't a listed building, which is good because you can do any work you want to it without too much trouble. Hi. The wages are a bit higher than they are here in the UK because the jobs tend to be skilled jobs, and the training's very good there. The workers receive really good training, so the wages are higher there. It's here. Is it 8? What's the minimum wage? Does anyone?
Germany is 1.3 more higher, actually 1.5 more higher than here.
The wages are higher there, yeah.
But I'm not planning you to move to Germany. I'm planning you to get to buy a house in Germany. I want to just make it very clear. I'm planning for you to, that's what I'm to say here is I'm planning for you to get a house in Germany, not to move it.
But the wages are higher, which means that your property prices here are higher. Yeah, if the property prices here are higher, but the wages here are lower, and it's the opposite in Germany, which means you win when you buy a property there. So it's a good buy. Yeah. Hiya. Well, it's higher than they are here. It's higher than it is here. So.
So on any of the properties, I wouldn't have to pay no stamp duty or anything like that.
When you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. No, you don't pay stamp duty. You have a certain fees, and we have. I'll bring it to you in a little bit. The exact fees of purchasing. We have our government purchase tax. We have our land registry, and we have our legal transfer, and it's very reasonable. But I have it in a chart so that you can see it. You can see exactly what you pay to.
So it goes in the category of the price of the property.
It goes in the purchase tax goes by region. Mm-hmm. So each region is different. Thuringia is a very, very good area. It's more expensive there, but it's not much more for your government purchase tax. But I'll bring it to you in a little while. I'll bring exactly so you can have a look at it and see what they cost. And it goes by the price of the price bracket of each property. Okay. So anyway, we can move on for the 12,000 one because nobody's interested in it. Okay, right. This one here is like a museum. It is a listed building, but with listed buildings, if you renovate the listed building, you get back 8 to 9% every year that you renovate it. But you're not going to get that benefit because the property doesn't really need renovation. It's very, very good. It's very traditional inside, but it has gas central heating, electric, main sewage, and all the rest of it. It's a very old property. It's like a museum inside. It's stayed the way it's been for a long, long time. The kitchen is quite basic, but it's totally usable. It's got the gas boiler is totally modern. There's a gas cooker. It's quite spacious in the kitchen.
One thing I can be able to say, Aaron, I want to just be able to, this is what I want them to know, which is very important. The German houses are not like UK houses. Modern houses, many houses that have been built for the last maybe 20 years or so, but most of them, it's an amazing, sometimes the way they build the German houses is very strange, because they put the toilet where it's supposed to be the bathroom, and where the bathroom is supposed to be the toilet. And especially some of this. I want to say here is very different. So I've been to quite a lot of property. Remember last time when we were going all over the place looking, whatever it is, and then I realized there is a pattern. German, they build things totally different. So one of the things here is, if you get this property, don't expect them to be looking like everything like the house here in the UK. They will be totally different. And now is when you go to 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, especially see like a listed building here, it has the way, but you can be able to renovate it and do it like now what I'm doing, for example, in Klingertail. I'm trying to bring it more into modern, because that one has been, that was Hitler's headquarters. No, that's just a joke. Yeah, that's just a joke. But I wanted to say here, because it's very important for them to know that. So it's gonna be completely, for example, the attics, when you're going through the rooms, and especially there's a way they do the toilets, and the bathroom. I've never understood why.
Well, this one here has a bath and a toilet in the same room, and a sink, so it's just like a British one. Good old British bathroom. Yep. But it is like a museum. This is a very special house. It's a listed building.
And how many bedrooms is that?
You've got about at least 5 bedrooms. The other thing to know about these German houses are they don't just have the bathroom, the lounge, the kitchen, the bedrooms. Sometimes you have to do a bit of guessing about where the bedrooms are and what the bedrooms are, because they are totally different. They don't have a set amount of bedrooms. They have rooms in these properties.
And actually you can walk from one to another.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 5 bedrooms, this house. This is at least 5 bedrooms. It has a proper bathroom, proper kitchen, proper lounge. It has a loft in it. The roof has been redone. That down in front of it, we call this, we give each house a name so that we remember what they are. We don't give it an address. We give it a name. We call this one the Ivy House, but it's not ivy on the front of it. It's actually grapes. You just pick them off and you can munch them. But you can take them off if you want. But these are here right now, and in the summer they're quite tasty actually. Round the back of the property, you've got big outbuildings. This would be a good one for turning into a couple of properties. The outbuilding at the back is a very solid building and could easily be a house. It could easily be a house. It's very big. The outbuilding is very high up, and you can climb up into what used to be the hay loft up there. So that would be an easy second property. But it's a very unique one, and it just looks like a museum inside, which means it's very attractive. You don't get as traditional as this property. It's a very nice property actually. The locals really like this house, but unfortunately they can't have it because we've got it and it's ready for one of you guys maybe if you want it. This is a good property. if you've got any questions on it, let us know, and any specifics on any ones. We have some sheets on them. Yeah, you can always ask. Yeah. Want to go
Can I
into
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right here.
Hiya.
Hi. Just wanted to ask about the listed buildings
Yes.
that you're saying. I mean, obviously, anything listed is of probably national government interest. There are probably limitations of what you can do in terms of changing the structure, rebuilding, and renovation. With the one that you have mentioned there, are there any major restrictions in terms of renovations that are there? Any major restrictions that could put off a buy?
Well, inside it is timber. Most of it's timber. You can sand all that down and do what you want with it, but you can't. I'm totally honest. You can't change the structure of this property. But it's generally, when you got a listed building in Germany, it is the outside. They don't want you to take away all this lovely wood because you just don't get that anymore. The windows you can change. You can see there's UPVC windows down at the bottom anyway, and if you want to keep them, I mean, you're going to keep them anyway. So you won't be able to change the wood. You can renovate the roof, the tiles. There's no restrictions on them, but you have to use something that looks similar to them. And it's only the main building that is listed here. So, but you can't go changing the structure. You can do things with the wood inside it. But this building's very special. If anyone ever, gets their hands on this property, they'll see that it's very special, and you wouldn't want to change the inside of this property. But most of the properties, it's just the outside. Like, we've got a big building, and they let us put double glazing in it, and they let us do whatever they want on the inside. But this one, no, you can renovate it, you can make it look as nice as you want it, but you can't change the actual structure of the property, and you wouldn't want to, because that's just lovely house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one other question for me. You mentioned that majority or all of the houses that you're selling are freehold.
Yeah.
Maybe there are first-time buyers who are not aware what that means.
Good, yeah.
What does freehold mean? And
Right.
Are you also kind of doing a leasehold?
Nope. We just say freehold because we
Okay.
always get this question: is it freehold? It must be, because people live in a city. If you live in an apartment block, you own your apartment. You
Yeah.
don't own the land underneath.
That's right.
You know that you can buy land.
Yeah.
You can buy the freehold title. Well, every single one of these are freehold. If we're selling properties in the middle of Berlin, maybe the land would be 100 years, whatever. But every one are freehold. When you buy it, it's yours as long as you pay your taxes, you pay your council tax, your water bill. Not so much the water bill. You pay your council tax. It is yours. It means that you own the land underneath it. There's nobody else that owns the leasehold title, which is a great question, of course. But everyone's freehold. It means none are leasehold. All of them, you own the land underneath, and it's yours forever. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, I was just asking on behalf of maybe somebody wanted a better understanding of difference between freehold and
Yeah.
leasehold. Thank you.
Cool. A lot of people here, probably because you live in a city, you've got leasehold. People got leasehold houses, yeah.
Yeah.
And apartments. Well, none of these are. These are all freehold. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a difference with freehold and listed, as you know, but
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody knows that. But these are all freehold, no leasehold.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Yeah. It's much cheaper. It's
Is it?
much cheaper. Yeah.
Can you give me an idea?
Yeah. You're here. How much your council tax?
Could be what like?
Depends where you're staying.
Yeah, the banding.
Some boroughs are
Depends, yeah.
expensive.
We're less than 30.
I pay an average of 145 pounds a month.
It's about, yeah. I'm cheaper because I'm in Scotland, so.
Uh-huh.
I'm in the Queen's County, so
Right, it's about 35 euros a month at the most. That's it. That's for that, yeah. That's all. Sometimes cheaper. You get cheaper. Yep. That other one with the £12,000 one that nobody's going to be interested in. That's that one's going to be cheaper. Yeah, every 3 months, which is about 30. Yeah, 33 point. Yep. Is this for the big one? All right, this is going to be cheaper. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So
Excuse me. I also,
It's definitely cheaper.
okay, sorry. I also heard that the electricity and the gas is quite reasonable
Yeah, it's very
compared to the UK.
it is reasonable, yeah, because their infrastructure is good and they're very efficient in Germany. They are very efficient. It is cheaper. It's not a huge amount cheaper,
Right. Okay.
but you'll notice the difference. It's way cheaper than it is here. They generate a lot of their own electricity. You'll see wind turbines, a lot of them, but they've been there for a long time, so you're not investing in many of them right now. So they're already there, and they've got a lot of renewables. So it's cheaper. It's not a huge amount cheaper, but it's definitely cheaper. You notice the difference.
Yeah.
And your council tax is way cheaper, which is great.
Which is great.
It's really good, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right, this one, it looks like a house or it looks like two houses, but on the top left-hand side, that whole quadrant there is actually a big hall. It's a big dance hall. It's in the photographs if anyone needs it or wants to see it. That's a big, huge hall there. This used to be the centre of the village hall, but it's actually a load of apartments and that big thing, which would be great for, again, renovating. This is the one that you step up the stairs at the back. You can go into each apartment. There's multiple apartments. And if you look over the back, the neighbours have got this lovely new house with a lovely big swimming pool. And if people are building that in that village behind there, it means that people want to stay there. This isn't the sort of dying village. None of these are really dying villages. These are good places. They're not cheap because of that. They're cheap because that we can get them at that price. It has multiple apartments. It's got a door on the front, so you can access the front, but also you can go around the left-hand side gate. You can go down the right-hand side gate. Multiple apartments, big hall. This is for someone who wants to have an easier way of having multiple rentals, long-term rentals of the apartments, and maybe even keep the hall as a hall and rent it out locally for functions and stuff. It's right next to a big town. It's a really great location. And the village, the houses are mostly all renovated. These are old houses, all renovated. So it's a really nice period town here. This is a good property again. No leaks in the roof. The roof's all good. It looks old because it is very, very old. And I don't know what you'd pay for that here, but 28,000 is what that's what we're offering it here for. Again, it's freehold. It's in the village centre. It's just across from a park, and it's a really great property. Around the back of it, it has these old wooden, big, solid outside stairs going to each apartment. It's really attractive, and the location's great. The town is a big town. It's got everything in it that you would need, and it's a great price, that one. You can see the size of it inside, and it's not little sort of pokey little rooms. You've got big rooms in here. That's a really great property, and it's in quite a good location too. You can see in proximity to Berlin. It's not that far from Berlin, which is of course the biggest city and the capital, and a great city. That's a good one. If for the price, 28,000, you can't get that anywhere unless you go somewhere that you don't want to go. So this is a good one. Yep. We'll go on to the next one. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I can see that that is old, but it's nice. All these properties, they are lived in, or
No. The reason they're not lived in is because we like to, when we secure these properties ready for sale, we know that people want to sort out their own. What do you want to do with it is the question. If people were living in it, you wouldn't have that choice, because people would be living in it, and you couldn't say, okay, I'm going to put half of it for rental, half of it for short-term rental, half of it for booking.com, because these are quite good areas and people want to stay here and people would love to go and holiday there. So we have them empty, so there's no complications, so it's all ready to go with whatever you want to do with it. So every single, yeah, yeah. Why, can you not go tomorrow? Okay, you wait till Monday. You wait till Monday, yeah. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, it is a nice property, but there's no tenants in them, and it's specifically because we know that everybody has a different idea. Everyone has a different ideas, and how realistic you are about doing it, and that's why these houses are empty and ready to go. Yeah, and there's no tenants in them, so that you can decide if you want tenants, if you want to, whatever you want to do with it. That's, it's ready for it. Yeah, is that okay? So there's no tenants in any of them. There will be if you want them in them. You know. Yeah.
And definitely that is so that somebody can let it make it to rent, and they it's like two separate, two neat, and somebody can make it rent separately or.
Yeah, yeah, that's the beauty of this one. It might look a bit bigger, and that's the great thing about it. And each apartment is separate, uniquely separate. It has a door. Each one has a door. So when you buy the whole property, you could do maybe one up at a time, or you could do the whole lot up at a time, and then rent some out and keep one for yourself, or rent the whole lot out. That's what you could do with it. So you wouldn't want to rent the whole building out. You make more. You make more for you. You're going to bring more in for you if you rent each one separately. So they're going to be affordable, but you've got quite a few of them there. You've got at least sort of 5 apartments, and you can see very quickly how you're going to get your money back on these. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. Cool.
I just wanted to know like in here in UK, we have different laws for tenants and landlords. How does Germany's laws work? Like, like in terms of eviction notices, in terms of tenants agreement, things like that.
Yep, tenants have rights there. In a lot of ways that we're synchronized with the laws in Germany. They're obviously different, but a lot of the laws are very similar to the ones in Germany. But tenants in Germany do have rights, but they're very good. They have to clear out their own. They do their own maintenance. They have to clear the paths in front of their properties. That's the rules. Whoever's in there, they're paying the council tax.
And actually, this is what I discovered. One of the property here is actually in German. Listen to this, everybody. You don't install the kitchen. The kitchen is empty. No sink, no nothing. The tenant come and they put their own kitchen.
They bring it.
They bring it their own kitchen. Yep. So actually the kitchen is just a room.
Yeah, with holes.
With the holes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they come in when they sign. Yeah, it's amazing. When they come in with the tenant's agreement. You sign. Then they install their own kitchen, their own sink. Cupboards, everything.
And that's tenants. That's how they do it. They bring their own. I don't know where they get it from. I don't know if they buy it or.
No, I saw in Obi the.
Yeah, they're ready made.
The Obi the. Yeah. Is like B&Q here.
Yeah.
And I saw actually there is a way that actually they what they do here is with the Germans, they give them interest free, as long as you can go over there as a tenant. And this is so amazing. But here in UK. For you to get a tenant, you have to make sure the kitchen, the cupboards are there, the washing machine is there, the sink is there, whatever it is. In Germany, you can do it if you want to. But most of them, no. You just rent the house, then they'll come, install their own kitchen, their own sink, and their own everything. And most of the time, when they leave it with you. Then you have to demolish it, remove it. And then the next tenant comes in, they put another one.
Yep, and that is the way it is. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it is. I always wondered why, when we went into these properties, there was holes in the walls, and I always wondered who took the kitchen, but nobody took it. It was just the people who moved out. They took it, and the next people are going to bring it. which is great. Yeah. So they do have tenants laws there, but it's pretty similar to here, and we can help with the contracts and things like that. We can do the first year for free to do the tenants contracts and deal with any incoming things that need to be dealt with. Yeah, and we'll help. We're always available by telephone. Yeah.
And when I'm talking about the kitchen and everything, so realize it's the traditional that has always been with for years and years. So actually, when you have, it's good, but most, for example, if you've got Germans and they want to get a kitchen, they'll come first of all and look at the kitchen, and if they don't like it, they tell you, we'll bring our own, and you don't pay for that. It's theirs.
Yep. So that makes it easier. So all you have to do is you put the blank canvas, and you make sure there's a bathroom there. Sometimes they make sure there's a bathroom. Make sure the house is basically done and it's a good standard. All these properties are pretty good anyway, and then it's much easier. You don't have to buy a kitchen for the property. Yeah. So it's pretty easy. The tenants are very responsible too. You don't have them calling up all the time saying, I need this or that done. They generally get someone else in to do it. And they don't do it themselves. If you want something done in Germany, you don't do it yourself. You get a meister to do it. You get who is meant to do it, which is great because you don't have people mucking up with playing with electric stuff and things like that. Everybody knows in Germany, if you want someone to do something, you get the electrician, the plumber, whatever. Unless you're good with that stuff, you can do it yourself. But the tenants don't do that. It's just really good to have tenants in Germany. They're very responsible. They know that this is the way it is.
You'll not be receiving necessary calls in UK.
Yeah.
Any minute.
Not that would be a problem. We've got people that can deal with that if you need it, but you won't get those calls for really strange, stupid little things. You'll get these are responsible people, which is great. They're not perfect. They're not all perfect, but they're good people. Yeah. Yeah. Aye.
Can I ask another question? In your earlier, when you started to speak, you mentioned that the majority of your properties are like village kind of properties.
Yeah.
In terms of the general amenities that are available in cities like hospitals, schools, universities, what's that like in terms of those amenities and the population? Because if you're thinking of maybe turning like that property into a rental, how good is it in terms of finding tenants for that property? Like maybe students or maybe professionals, things like that.
This is 2 miles to a city.
Okay.
This one. So specifically, this one is really close. All of these properties around it are all owned or rented. Germans love to rent. They love to rent rather than own. So this one in particular is fine to rent. You get it done, they'll rent it. They won't rent it like it is now because it looks like some sort of hall, dance hall, something like that. They're not going to do that. Do a little bit of work and you'll get them rented out. And you'll get all of these rented out. These properties are all near to towns. They're villages, but in Germany, the villages often have an industrial estate next to it, and they're manufacturing cakes or electronic things and stuff like that everywhere in Germany. That is the way it is, at least all over these ones. So in terms of employment, if there's a property that's of a good standard, they'll rent it. Even in places that there's hardly any population, they'll still rent it. You're not going to have a property that's good enough that nobody's going to rent. They're going to want to rent it. And there's not enough houses in Germany. They're not building enough. They're not building enough in the cities. And the Germans don't like taking any risks. So they're not buying these properties and renovating them. The people that are doing that are people here in the UK and people from everywhere else, Italy, France, Spain. That is the people who are doing this work in these houses. These Germans are not buying these properties and doing them up, which is amazing because we can do that.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing, yeah.
Okay. And would you, let's say we buy that property, would you be able to act on our behalf, finding tenants, facilitating that kind of service?
Well, for tenants, you just advertise locally. There's 2 different websites that you use for that. They're both free to advertise for tenants for properties, and you'll get tenants for it. And in order to do the work in it and renovate it, there's 2 teams of people. And our man here has very good
Yeah.
team, and I also have a number of really skilled workers who can work on anything from roofs to installing kitchens and bathrooms and bedrooms.
Okay.
So we can actually do all of that. And in terms of the rental thing, to these websites are free to advertise in, to look for people to rent it. The contracts we can get made up on your behalf, and we have a really good lawyer who can do anything else that you need done.
Okay.
So yeah, it is easy. As long as the properties are rentable, they'll get rented.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the hotel's different. You know, it's
Yeah,
quite special.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to rent that with a family.
Yeah, definitely.
But the other ones, yeah, you rent them out. There's not enough properties, and people want to rent in Germany.
Okay.
So that's yeah. Okay. Is there any other questions for that one? Yeah. Hi.
Yes, sorry.
Good evening. Say you were a landlord in Germany. Do you have to give your new tenants a fixed term contract?
You're going on your 6 month and your 12 month, and then they have to give 2 or 3 months notice depending on what kind of contract it is. Yeah.
And can you increase within a year?
You mean to
Increase the rent?
They don't like that.
No, I don't like that. That's what I learned from
you can put
Germany.
it up every few years if you want to. Yeah, as long
yeah.
as you put in your initial contract that it may go up.
Okay, that's
and they understand that. Yeah, you can. Hello.
Yes, in fact, Pastor Brian took my question that I was going to ask about finding tenants.
Yeah, it's just there's eBay. There's a site called eBay. It's basically the German eBay site. You can use that. It's free to use.
So do they manage the whole system about finding tenants?
Yep.
And I wouldn't want people ringing me up all the time to say they've got this problem and that problem. They've got sites that will do all that. And how much would that be?
Yep.
Their local estate agent in town, and then just like in UK, everything is all just similar, and then you give them the management for the property, they'll manage it for you. Yeah.
No, don't give them the management. Give us the management.
Yeah. Give him the management.
Right, what we've got is a handyman that can go around and do any work done. And these two areas anyway. The one a bit north, we have to arrange for someone, the train station in Stendal. But these ones, someone can do that. And they don't generally want work, need stuff done, tenants. But if it needs done, it's just at the cost of the person that's going to do it. And also for the rental contract, that can be done easily anyway, locally. Yeah.
So how much would you charge me for what you're going to do?
For what I'm going to do, I'm going to charge you for the property.
That's it.
And for a year, we'll deal with any incoming inquiries. But if someone has to go out to your property, it'll be at the cost of them for the first year. And then after that, we can talk. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you go and view the property before you purchase it?
Yeah, these properties are probably going to go. But if we've got other one, if any haven't went and you want to go and do it, you can do that. But they're probably going to go. I think we've only got like 8 properties here. So if there's any that haven't, you're welcome to go and see it. Yeah.
Okay. When somebody is going, will you go with them?
I'm not gonna. But potentially we can get someone to do that if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So. These properties are offered at a price that you can go and view them. Obviously, you can go and view them. You can go and have a look at them. But we put the prices not at estate agents' prices. We don't sit there for months, and they're not going to sit there for 6 months. These properties, we buy them at a price that we know that someone's going to buy it. It's not risk because we've seen these properties. We know them inside and out. But generally, at that sort of price. If they go, it's gone. But if it doesn't go and you want to go see it, you can go see it. Yeah. Cool. Is there any other questions? Right. And should we go on to the next property? Hello.
Apart from these properties, after these have been sold, will there be others?
Of course. There'll be more all the time. That's what we do. That's exactly what we do.
But the risk is this. One thing I realized with this property here is if you keep waiting for others, you may miss what it could have been.
Yeah, we've got together a range of properties that suit everyone, we think. So if there's something that's not here, I'm going to be confused as to what you're looking for.
The reason why I'm asking that question, because
Yeah.
you mentioned that this is going to go quite quickly.
Yeah.
I was asking the question.
We'll always have properties. We'll always have new ones. But again,
you may not, you may get it, but you may not find it as some of them as what the price, what they are, the condition, what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but for this one is you cannot go much wrong.
Yeah, we've taken these prices down for the day. These prices are not the prices that they are advertised. We've specifically
And
taken.
negotiated that on their behalf.
Yep, we have taken off quite a lot of money just for today. So it's not this price is just for today. But yeah, but we will get more. But we can't guarantee what they're going to be like. Yeah. Right. This is a very big apartment block here. It has full UPVC double glazed windows. It's a really big property. Yeah, again, we've taken the price right down to this for today. 1.5 hours to Berlin, really close to Berlin. It's a corner block of flats. It's a really big property. I don't know how much the windows cost in this property, but they must have been at least half the price of the actual property. Also has some barns on the outside. You can see these on the bottom. These are big buildings that were work locations. They were work buildings, and it's on the corner. It's on its own plot, and it has quite a bit of land around it. Also, it has almost half an acre of land for that one property. This property, again, we have no inside photographs of it. We've just managed to secure it. And we'll put the price down to £39,000. The whole entire block is 39,000. Yeah. So yeah, 39,000 for that entire block of flats. It has a pretty good roof on it. On the outside, it needs some rendering, but this would be good for someone to renovate part or renovate the whole lot and rent out each apartment that we've got in here. It's near quite a lot of lakes and things like that. It's a nice location. Be good for part rental, part short-term accommodation like booking.com. There's a lady in the same village. We've got another property close to it that we're not selling, but we rent it out, and the lady that cleans that, it would be the lady that would do the cleaning on this one too. So it's sort of ready. It's quite handy having someone that we know who's close to it, who can look after it, and who can go to it to do any cleaning and things like that if you do a short-term rental with it. That's all the information I have on that property. That's why it's 39,000. It's a good property. Good solid one, double glazed windows. Good property.
The good thing is, let me say this. I saw it with my own eyes. The good thing is with this property, he has not been inside. That's why it's selling for 39. You may go inside the house. You know, like what happened, you remember when we went, where was it? Where I found the guns. You can find all this. We were finding, me and him, we were busy taking treasures. We went to, where was
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, this was, I don't know the name of this place. You have a much better memory than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a workshop in there.
Yeah, a workshop and everything. And I realized, so I started putting the gun together. There was a pistol.
Worrying.
We pistol together. We were put the Chinese, with the Chinese bed.
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. You go into this, for example, one of the properties we went in for the first time, it has got all the treasures inside. Everything. So now you may go inside there, open that door, get inside there, and you can find things. You know, I was so amazed. Most of the properties we're going in, nobody has ever been there. Everything is just left the way it is. You know, and you are telling me, or pick up what you can. We're going around. Yeah, we have some ornaments. I'm talking about treasures. You know, you find things. I saw in one of it, very expensive art was inside the house. You know, a very expensive art, you know, small thing, very expensive art. I checked the value, and it was just there. You know, so with this 139,000, you can go in there. Two things you're gonna find is not been in the house. The roof is okay, which means the house is not leaking, so that is fine. But inside, you may find some stuff there.
Maybe, yeah. There's one of these houses that I know there's stuff in, and it's not been shown yet. So that one's good. That's a good property. It's had most of the biggest work done to it.
Sorry, Aaron, I've got a question. So what's the payment plan? Are you expecting 39,000 today, or is there a deposit plan?
We'll come we'll come about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, we'll come about that. For that one, you need to talk to James.
Don't worry. It's all fine. It's all going to be good. Right. Shall we do the next one? Right, this is a place called Bad Schmiedeberg. Bad in German doesn't mean bad, you know, because that wouldn't be the sort of place that you want to buy and invest in. It means it's a spa town. So anywhere with the name bad in it, it means good. All right, so just remember that. It's the opposite. That whole building that you see there, that's scrolling away, the entire building is for sale. This is a whole shop. You got a house and apartment, or you got 3 apartments, whatever you want to do with that one. This is a good property. We don't have inside photographs of this. In fact, I don't even have a sheet here, but we don't have inside photographs of this one because we just managed to secure it again. But we know it's got a good roof. It's got good windows in it. It's not a listed building. And it's in a really good, nice location. It's a very nice location, close to where we do most of our business. And we own properties in that location that are just rented out. This one is £39,000. Can we scroll down a little bit, James?
Don't be surprised if they've never. One thing we need to do with these German houses, there are 2 important things you should always look at. Number 1 is the roof. Number 2 is the windows. If you see those 2 things, okay, fine. Because normally the Germans' houses, when it comes to the wall and everything, is built to last. And if they've not been in, you may go in there and guess what you may find? Some of the Nazi gold there. You know, 10 to, you know, about maybe 100 kilos. And that's it. You're done. I know.
We haven't found it yet, though.
We're looking for it. I have faith. I've always had this dream, all this vision, that one of these days I'll find the gold. And all these houses, majority of them, they have their bunker down. Some of them have got bunkers. You know, you go down there. So don't worry. In case of North Korea or whatever it is, you can always. But you can turn that bunker to become a prayer. You know, a prayer room.
Yep. 30,000. I don't have any more information. We just managed to get it for this price to secure it. But that's a great property. You can see what you get for 30,000. You wouldn't even get a shop for 30,000 here. Yeah, this is actually a town. This isn't a tiny little place. It's got a castle and all that there. It's a really nice place. You got all your supermarkets and a pharmacy, hairdresser in this town. And it is a town. It's a very good location.
So it's the whole block?
It's a whole block of, yeah, the whole block. This is a good one, yeah. Yeah, and it's ready to go again for that one, just like every single property here. Yep, let's go to the next one. Right, this is a little one. Semi-detached house. It doesn't look very big, but it is big. It has a lovely garden. It's very traditional. No inside photographs. bit of a lucky dip, this one. Nobody's been into this property for about 30 years. And we didn't bother going into it either because sometimes we...
So you may never know what you can
for
find.
that price.
30
We don't know.
years.
Yeah, we've got no idea what's inside it, but we know it's pretty decent
Treasure
from the
hunt.
outside.
Treasure hunters.
So that's a lucky dip. That one's a lucky dip one for anyone. That's that one. That's all
You find
information I
some
have
gold
on it, yeah.
coins and
Yeah, maybe.
gold, silver coins.
Oh yeah, the thing about this is that the area is an area that we don't have any other properties in. So the house is a bit of a lucky dip, but the area isn't. If you look at that particular area, it's a really nice area, and we have no other properties in that region. It's nice and hilly, forests, rivers, castles, amazing location. That would be good for someone to buy and use as a holiday home or a booking or Airbnb property. That would do well. We'll go on to the next one, but that's a good one. And what's great about that is the location. Right, so train station. We mentioned trains going into the stations earlier. We didn't mention that it's not like the train stations here where you have big noisy trains. You genuinely don't have big noisy trains in Germany because the Germans would not tolerate that. So this train station here, it's just electric trains that come into it. You probably get some diesel ones every so often. I didn't see any, but they come. The platform on the right hand side is owned by Deutsche Bahn, the company, the German company, and the train track is on the right hand side. But that grass that you see, and then there's land to the side, is owned by this property. So the trains come in and they go away again. You can jump on this, walk out the door, jump on the train, and then get a connection, or you can go into town or wherever you want to go from there. You could get a connection to Berlin by jumping on the train outside here. You won't get directly to Berlin because it's a small, but there's regular trains into Berlin. So it'd be good for a cafe outside, maybe running as a cafe, or apartment blocks, or a lovely, lovely big house. It's a really, really special location.
And it comes with 12 bedrooms.
Yeah, it's and this is a solid building, this one. It's very solid. It's been empty for a long time. I saw no cracks. It's solid. It's solid. It needs some TLC, but once that's done, that property is going to look really, really great. And if you're looking at something that you're going to do something with and sell 10 years later, this is the one. This is the one to do that with. And it's £25,000. Stendal is a big town. Again,
this is where you hide your cash. Yeah, that's how you do. You hide your cash.
Someone did hide their cash in this one. Yeah. Well, on the right-hand side of the station, the day that I went there was a bag, and someone had cash in it, but I left it there. Okay, I left it. There was a hold all with cash on the right-hand side of that building. You didn't know that.
That's Aaron for you.
Yeah. It needs some TLC. We won't joke about that and pretend it doesn't.
It needs a lot of work.
But look at the design of this building. James, can you go down a bit? We have other pictures.
You know, one thing, Aaron, for example, if you know, one thing I like about this, if you really want to put cash aside, you buy property like that one is a solid building.
Yep.
You buy it, even the land itself, and just live there for over, 5-10 years. So, obviously your cash is secure. Yep. That means you're not going to spend it quickly, and then you can just wait until, because this property here, they've been sold on a throwaway price, and the value keep going up every day, and especially even after the Brexit, the properties, they've just gone up in Germany, just like that.
This is an absolutely amazing price for this property. Stendal, the town, has everything in it. Bowling alleys, we went bowling there, McDonald's, everything that everybody moans about, but they all go to and eat there, don't they? Yeah. So it's a really great location. You can see the location on the map here on there. North of Berlin, great area, and on the way from Berlin to there, they're building a brand new autobahn that's about 70% done on the way directly to Stendal, and it's going to go all the way up to Rostock, where this property here is. So it's going to go all the way up to there once that Autobahn is done. So Stendal's already popular. It's got a really big train station. You can get trains to different parts of Europe, but specifically Berlin. So you can get a train that takes just 5-10 minutes from here into Stendal, and you get a train from there to Berlin. Easy. It's got big parking, has big land on the side of it, and it's very big inside. The rooms are really, really big. We have more photographs of it if anyone wants to come and view them. The inside photographs. It's a bit tatty inside, hasn't been used for years, but it's solid building.
But this one will serve. I keep affirming this. This one, for those people who knows how to borrow money, this is the best way to do. You know, we're talking about it's got 12, so you want to put money aside. It will give you more interest better, sometimes even than bonds or whatever it is. You put it into it and you just wait and you stay where that is concerned.
You're going to get nothing near this for 25,000. That's what we are offering at. And again, this is offered absolutely direct property. We're not an estate agent. We get these properties to offer.
But you should know when you're buying a train station, there are some things that you need to do. Originally, the word train station, you have station master house and everything else. So there's a lot of TLC. There's a lot of work to be done. So it will give you advantage of your own personal modification. You have to bring it up to standard. You know, but if you bring it up to standard, that one is going to be worthy of $500,000.
That's a really, really great property. We were quite impressed when we got there. It's usually quite sunny in Germany, but it wasn't a sunny day there. And it didn't look its best in that light. And that property is way better than it looks. That property is a really good property, absolutely solid. The front of it's actually got a little conservatory. It needs some new woodwork on it, but it's going to look great as a cafe or something like that, or even just looking out onto the tracks. Over there, you've got countryside, very easy into Stendal. There's in the land on the left-hand side, there's a large mast which used to be used for the train company. It's in really good condition, really high up, so it could potentially be used for a telephone company or something like that. But that would be for the buyer to decide what they wanted to do with it when they got it. But that's £25,000. It's a really, really big building, and it's absolutely rock solid building. And that's that one. But I think we have another one. If anyone hasn't seen this one, you've seen it now. This is
this one.
A hotel. This is a big hotel.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it has a bowling alley in it. It has stained glass that a lady was going to take out. The previous owner was going to take that glass out and renovate the entire property just from what she was offered for the glass. But the mayor said, you're not doing that. So the glass stays in the building, and it's still there. It's handmade stained glass. It's really lovely stained glass. I have closer photos if anyone's interested. This place is still on booking.com, but it's not obviously out, but there's a legacy page on there, and you can see that it was a hotel. It's a very big building. It's on the border of the Czech border. Half of the town is in this location, and the other half of the town is Czech. So half is German, half is Czech. This has a restaurant. It's got a lot of bedrooms. It's got owner's accommodation. It's got a bowling alley, so one lane bowling alley, but it's very, very wide. It's got a pub, as you can see in the middle. So it'd be good for maybe a restaurant, family bowling alley, or actually as a hotel, as it was designed for. The restaurant has still got all the tables, chairs. You've got all the bar pulling beer equipment there. There's even wine and all that still there. Still everything that was there is still there. The pots and pans are there. There's a full-size cooker in there. Needs a bit of a clean, but it's a very good cooker, very expensive cooker. It's got mains gas, mains electric, mains sewage, obviously your electricity. It has plenty of parking, has a land behind it. It has land on the left-hand side of it. It's got a beer garden on the right-hand side of it. And it's £42,000. Really great location. This is one that you would fly in from Czech to get to, and probably run as a hotel, and maybe get someone to run it for you if this is what you wanted to do. Once the work was done on this one, once it's run as a hotel again, I wouldn't like to put a price on it, but we're talking a lot of money here that it would be worth. But right now, we've got it for this price, and we're offering it for this price. And if anyone wants it and wants to do something with it, it's here. You can do that today. Yep. And that's a good property. And that is the properties that we have available. Yeah.
If you are here and you think big and you love big, then this is the one to get. And you lock it down for yourself. Just for yourself, you and your family. Yeah, and the good thing about it here is if you were to open this one and run it through, you can get somebody to be able to run it for you. The amount of money you will make every night, every day through NB is quite, and this property is very interesting, this one.
It's not a listed building. You can do what you want with it. It looks like a listed building. We're not sure if the stained glass from it was taken from the old building. There was an old, very, very old building there. It was about 300
And
years
actually,
old.
there are two buildings, not only one. There are two, what about that? Is there one behind?
Oh yeah, there's a large courtyard and there's a big building behind it.
Yeah, so it's actually you're buying two buildings almost the same size. There's that one. There is another one behind. Is it the one that you told me is a bowling alley?
It's a bowling alley, but it has another bit that I haven't been into.
Because I was asking you, you said that you have not been into.
I didn't have time. It took us.
So
most of the
actually,
day.
it has another building which is so huge, almost the same size. So actually, you're getting the land, and also it comes with a swimming pool, which is 5,000 square feet.
Hold on a moment. It doesn't have a swimming pool.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It comes with a swimming pool.
No. Okay, sorry, that was a mistake. I would love it if it had a swimming pool because I would.
Oh, with the slide. It says it goes swimming pool with the slide.
Okay, that's an error. It doesn't have a swimming
Oh,
pool. Sorry about that.
5,000. I was just thinking 5,000 square feet. I was just thinking of taking the whole church. We go just for swimming. 5,000 square feet. That is huge.
It is a huge building, but I'm sorry, it doesn't have a swimming pool. The town has a swimming pool.
Huh?
The
What?
city.
Oh, the city.
has
Oh, it is the city.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, but you can make a swimming pool there, do you?
It's got a slide and things. If you want to make a swimming pool, you can make a swimming pool, but you could turn the bowling alley in building, take away the bowling alley, which is a lot of
Or
fun.
you could use the other building that you've not been into and turn it to an
Yeah, if you wanted to put a swimming, that would be great with a swimming pool. There's a hotel with a swimming pool. Yeah, that'd be good. I don't know. I like bowling. Do you not like bowling? 10 pin bowling?
You're trying to invite me many times, but
Not go. James didn't like 10 pin bowling. And I took him 10 pin bowling and he said he didn't like it and he couldn't do it. And this was here in London. This was the last time we were here. And we did it. And he was terrible. He kept throwing it off to the side and throwing it that way. And I was laughing because I was winning. But after a little while, he got quite angry and he started doing it and doing it and doing it. And then we drew at the end. After it was meant to be one game and it was 4 games. And he drew. So I didn't do another game because he was going to win. Yeah.
okay, now we have come to you've seen all the properties that are available today. And James, you want to say something? Clap on for James right now.
This is a bowling person.
Hi guys, thanks for coming today. I think Aaron was just explaining my terrible bowling skills there. Yeah, one more game and I definitely would have beaten him. So Aaron went through the slides. As you can see, we put a lot of heart and soul into what we do, and we've done some business with the main man here. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I've been hiding all day in there, so I'd like to speak to you and see what we can do for you. All right, so I think we'll probably take a wee break here, and if you've got any questions, come over to us and ask us any questions, and be happy to help. All right, thank you.
So the 12,000.
Sure. I think we'll have a queue of people.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do here is, while we're taking break, you'll have time to come to James. He is the guy who is in charge of the dealing with the sale, so you can be able to see him here. You have all during this break. It's time for you to come and ask questions more about it. Is also you could have an opportunity to secure your property today. Get it secured, at least that that you are you will be. If you have money to pay up front, you can pay up cash today, which is quite much more better. Yes. Yeah, we've got the card machine. If you feel you like a property, whatever it is, you could put a deposit on right now quickly, as soon as possible, so you can be able to secure that property where that is. So this is a good opportunity for you. So right now, as we go on break, we got some refreshment at the back there. You're gonna be able to refresh yourself, and then we're gonna just prepare a nice table here for you. So because I think you'll be much more better, because they want to come and they can be able to come, both of you, and they can come both of you to come to speak. To speak to both of you here. And you can be able to, whatever the property that you want, whatever you're interested with, that will be much more easier to do that. And you have any question? Any question? Yes. And also, for example, like what you say, you can gather 4 of you, and if you like, you want to buy one, you can buy one, and then separate rooms.
Yes, sir. Suppose you're interested in the property.
Hold the microphone.
You're interested in the property, but you don't have the money. What their help is there for you?
Totally happy to speak to you today. We can sit down and see what options we can offer you. It just really depends. Each property is different. It depends what kind of demands we have today. But happy to have a sit down and talk with you and see what we can do. Thanks.
Any other question? You ready to move to German? Great. Any other question at all? Yes.
Our schools nearby, are local.
Yeah. Most of the schools are. If you could be able to arrange the table there, move that side. Put move the table there.
Yeah, there's schools everywhere in Germany.
That's the most amazing thing.
Yeah, the big towns have got bigger ones. The smaller ones have got smaller ones, but all of them have schools.
Yes.
And if there's not schools in the village, there's a school bus that goes from there to the schools. The Germans love their education, and they definitely have schools for everyone there. You do have to learn some German though. Although there is English schools, you do have to learn German. Yeah. Okay. Here you pay national insurance, and in Germany you pay a similar, but you can choose which company you want. You get your free healthcare. If you have an emergency, you get your free care. But if you want a long-term healthcare,
that way.
You can choose which company you want, and you pay them monthly. So instead of paying for your national insurance, which you pay a small amount for your emergency, you can choose which company it is. It's a slightly different system from the UK.
So similar to the US?
No, it's not as bad as the US.
So one of the things
Nobody can say there.
What you need to understand here is the most important thing that here is think about this. Think about having something to your name. Think about, for me, I want to be able to talk about it. Some of us here, Anna, is to break. Sometimes you may need to break a curse, where no one in your family has ever owned something. Maybe they owned it and lost it before. So guess what? You could start somewhere just to have. For me, my biggest breakthrough that came in as one thing, I am going to buy I am going to get what I did here is amazing. To be able to do it in this country, I had in Scotland is different because you can actually buy a small piece of land like a ruler, and then it makes you a lord. But I needed just to have a name to my land. And as soon as that happened, everything opened up. So this is an opportunity for you to have something to your name, to be able to invest where that is concerned. So see it as an opportunity. You can begin somewhere, and you can be able to at least, and Germany is safe. It's very, very safe. Very, very, very safe. And it's a place where it's just across the border. You can be able to cross over and get there. And especially, for example, if you have, for example, okay, people are asking, Bishop, I don't have a British passport. I've got an indefinite leave to remain. It's easier. As long as you have your deed, you show them I'm going to see my property. You live in the UK, you've got indefinite leave to remain. You can be able to go and see your property. If you've got a British passport, you don't need all that. And the truth of the matter, this is what you need to know for sure. And especially with what has happened with coronavirus and everything else, we're talking about the negotiation. This is what you need to do. In all things, God works for good. Actually, because of the issue with the economy now, the EU is not on the strong point to negotiate about trade with the UK. So what is going to happen here, mark my word, in the next few months, there will be a compromise. And what you're going to find here is same thing we were enjoying before between us and European Union is going to be there. Can you imagine? Same thing. Tax-free, go in, come out. Send your goods, come in. The only thing that will be, it will be like people, for example, like from Switzerland, whatever it is, But, so because, it has happened for a reason, it's going to be, there's not much. The European Union at the moment is not going to be on the strong point to negotiate. Before they were saying this and this is who we are, whatever it is. But at the moment, this coronavirus is costing them billions, and you don't negotiate at the point of your weakness, and that's why you see our prime minister is trying to keep the airwaves on, hoping apart from they could have clamped everything down. So what Boris Johnson is trying to do is trying to keep the economy flowing, and because already the European Union is on a lockdown, so he's trying to give it a leverage. By the time, that's why you see for the last few weeks, he has been very arrogant when it comes to negotiating with the European Union, because his advisors are telling him at the moment with coronavirus and everything, because remember, as a country, watch it now, as a country like Great Britain or any other small country, if the smaller the population is, the less the effect with coronavirus. The bigger the population is. So now with Italy being on lockdown, others being on lockdown, all this is affecting the Europe as a bloc. You understand that now? During time of coronavirus like this, smart people prosper. Did you hear I say? They do prosper, So now you can go and see, if you're interested, you can go and see these gentlemen. They're wonderful, and if you guys go over there, negotiate, talk to 2-3 people, see what you can be able to do here. If you came here with your husband, with your wife, this is the time for them to prove how much they love you. And that's how they do, because the proof of love is what? Giving. So you say, honey, listen to me, you love me so much, whatever it is, so you have to prove to me, so here, I've never asked you for any other gift. I'm only asking you for these gifts. Did you hear what I said? This time for you to say thank you to somebody. With what? With the property. It's very important you tell, listen, I've never asked you for any gift. This is a gift that I'm asking for. Please remember the refreshment is on over there, and we just want to pray quickly. Father, Son, I thank you for every favor. Thank you for every divine provision provided for us. We thank you for this meeting. We give you all the praise, all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So feel free. James is ready. If you want to go, you can go and talk to him if you're interested. So feel free. You can discuss with people. You can talk. You can ask. I think Aaron will be seated around here. On the other side, you can go over there, discuss.
Are you gonna send it to me or are you gonna bring it? Yeah. It says
Yeah. Yeah. This property isn't the same. Yeah. So it's in the middle. In the middle, yeah, it's in the garage. Who is the neighbor then? It's a city. Yeah. So it's in the city. Yeah. Of course. This is a city that owns all this land here. Apart from the front of it and the left side. Yes, it's a city. Okay, so now the other thing is I wanted to ask you, how many bedrooms? 4 bedrooms.
che già così perché